Having a relationship with an emotionally immature individual requires a shift in expectation and boundaries. The most important thing is accepting them for who they actually are, not who you hope they might become one day. Emotionally immature individuals struggle with accountability, they lack the ability to self reflect, and they get defensive when they experience discomfort. Expecting them to suddenly develop depth or insight only leads to disappointment. Acceptance does not mean approval. It means recognizing their limits so that you can make clear, realistic choices about how much access you allow them. Strong, simple boundaries are necessary. Long justifications invite debate, manipulation, or defensiveness. A healthy boundary sounds like, I'm not discussing this topic. If you raise your voice, I am ending this conversation, and then doing exactly that if necessary. You cannot control their reactions, but you can control your participation. It often takes upholding boundaries with emotionally immature individuals several times before they stick, and they may try various tactics to break them down. The most important thing is to follow through every time. It is also essential that we stop seeking emotional support from people who cannot provide it, no matter what role they play or what label they carry. Emotionally immature people are unreliable sources of empathy, repair, or validation, and trying to get them to meet your emotional needs will only put you in a cycle of hope, disappointment, and resentment. A healthier approach is to build a support network elsewhere: friends, chosen family, support groups, your inner self, so that the relationship with the emotionally immature person is no longer expected to carry weight it cannot support. Emotional detachment with compassion is helpful, and this means staying calm, grounded, and non reactive when they attempt to provoke, project, or escalate. You do not have to convince them, fix them, or make them understand. In fact, you cannot do that. And accepting their limits is the only way to maintain healthy contact with an emotionally immature person. Detachment is not coldness, it is choosing not to let their dysregulation become yours. You can acknowledge their feelings without agreeing to their version of reality or sacrificing your boundaries. A relationship with an emotionally immature person requires honesty around closeness. Some people can only be handled in small doses. You can only discuss certain topics, shallow topics, and it's better to meet with them in a structured context, like going out to eat. You have the meal and then you leave. You're not expected to hang around for hours and hours. A relationship becomes healthier not because the other person changes, but because you stop overexposing yourself to harm and stop expecting what they cannot give. The goal is not to mature or manage the emotionally immature person. The goal is to protect your peace, relate to them as they truly are, and build a life where their limitations no longer define your emotional world. Have a good day.